Hello everyone. Today we discuss about module number 2 masonry construction, lecture number 2, and in this lecture we discuss about stone masonry, type of stone masonry. Then after we discuss about lifting appliances for a stone masonry and joints in a stone masonry. So one by one we start a lecture. So first we start a stone masonry. So what is stone masonry? Stone masonry is used for the construction of wall, column, lintel, arc, beam, etc. of a building. Stone are abundantly available in nature, and when cut and dressed to proper shape, they provide an economical material for a construction of the various parts of the building. So there are divided into stone masonry divided into two part. First is a rubble masonry and second one is a ashlar masonry. So what is rubble masonry? So the stone masonry in which either undressed or roughly dressed stone are laid in a suitable mortar is called a rubble masonry. In this masonry the joints are not in a uniform thickness, and rubble masonry is further subdivided into three types: random rubble masonry, square rubble masonry, and dry rubble masonry. So one by one we discuss. So rubble masonry is a coarse, uncoarse or random rubble masonry, coarse rubble masonry, and dry rubble masonry. So what is uncoarse or random rubble masonry? Random rubble masonry in which stone are laid without forming cores is known as a uncoarse random rubble masonry. This type of the rubble masonry, the roughest and cheapest type of the masonry is of varying appearance, and the stone used in this masonry are of a different size and shape. Before laying, all the projection corner of the stone are slightly knock off, and vertical joint are not plumbed, joint are filled with flushes. The large stone are used at a corner to increase their strength, and generally this type of the masonry is suitable for the construction of the wall of low height in case of the ordinary building. Now second type of the masonry is a coarse rubble masonry. So the random rubble masonry in which stone are laid in layer of a equal height is called a random rubble masonry. So here masonry height or a layer height is in a equal form. So in this masonry the stone is laid in somewhat level course, and header of course are height are placed at a certain interval. The stone are hammer dressed, and it is very suitable for the construction of residential building as a go down or a boundary wall, etc. Third type of the masonry is a dry rubble masonry. So the rubble masonry in which stone are laid without using any mortar is called a dry rubble masonry, or sometimes shortly is a dry stone. So it is ordinary masonry, and is recommended for constructing a wall of a height not more than the 6 meter height, and in case of the height is more than 3, edges the cores are laid in a square rubble masonry mortar at a 3 meter interval, and it is very suitable for the non-load bearing wall, like a non-load bearing wall, like example like is a compound wall. Now next is a ashlar masonry. So it's a new point. Ashlar masonry, the stone masonry in which finally dressed stone are laid in a cement or lime mortar, is known as a ashlar masonry. In this masonry, the cores are uniform height. All the joints are regular, thin, and have a uniform thickness. This type of masonry is much costly, as is required dressing of the stone, and it is very suitable for the heavy structure, architecture building, high pier, and abutment of the building. So ashlar masonry is divided into main six type of the ashlar masonry. Ashlar fine masonry, second one is a Ashlar rough tool masonry, third one is a rock or rustic or quarry faced masonry, fourth one is a Ashlar chamfered, and fifth one is a Ashlar facing. So one by one we discuss. So first is a Ashlar fine masonry. Each stone is cut to uniform size and shape with all the side of the rectangular, so that the stone give a perfectly horizontal and vertical joint with all the joint of adjoining stone, and height of the course is more than 30 centimeter height. So here one layer height is a 30 centimeter, means more than 1 feet height, and maybe of the alternate of the H and S. So what is H and S? H and S is a header and stature. So Ashlar fine masonry generally look like a brick masonry. So here in a brick size is not a 30 centimeter size height, but it's nearer, it's a look like a brick masonry. Now next type of the masonry is a Ashlar rough tooled masonry. The bed and side are of finely chiseled dress, but the face is made rough by mean of the tools, and a strip of about 25 mm wide and made by means of the chisel is provided around the perimeter of the rough dressed face of each stone. Thickness of the joint not more than 6 mm. So what is thickness of the joint? So thickness is a joint thickness is a material used to join the two stone. So here lines show the, here two between the two stone line is seen. So this line is show the material. So it is not more than 6 mm thickness. Next one is a rock or rustic or quarry faced masonry. A strip is provided around the perimeter of every stone, but the remaining portion of the face is left in the same from as a received from the quarry. The projection on each exposed face is restricted to 75 mm and thickness of the joint up to the 10 mm. So what is thickness of the joint? So as we discussed, thickness of the joint is a joint between the two stones. So it is not more than 10 mm thickness. Next is a Ashlar chamfered. The strip is chamfered or beveled at an angle of the 45 degree by means of the chisel or depth of 25 mm. So here see in a first figure, so all the stone are properly chiseled at a every corner by the 45 degree and at a 25 mm in a depth. Next is a Ashlar facing. So in if the backing of the rubble masonry it is called as a rubble Ashlar, and if the backing of a brickwork masonry is termed as a brick Ashlar. So what is backing? So backing is a in a backside portion we use a rubble masonry, so it is rubble Ashlar, and we use a brick masonry, so it is brick Ashlar. So Ashlar facing is the best type of the Ashlar masonry, since this is the type of the masonry is very expensive and it is not commonly used in a wall construction, and uh, in a work of the greater importance of the strength. So for the economy the facing are built in a Ashlar, the rest is a rubble. Now next is a lifting appliance. So for the handling of the stone, some of the lifting appliance is compulsory required. So during the masonry construction, small size of the stone is handled by the manually, and large size of the stone is handled by the lifting appliance, and this lifting appliance is connected with a crane, look like a tower crane or a truck mounted crane. So here two types of the appliances, first is a levis and second one is a kniper. So levis is divided into another four parts. So here levis is, first levis is a pin levis, second one is a three leg levis, third one is a chain levis or a chain dog levis, fourth one is a modified from the three leg levis. So one by one we discuss. So first one is a pin levis. So what is pin? So as you seen in a figure, Here pin levies is a one type of the pin or a pointed steel rod are inserted in a stone, and when the stone is lifted with the help of the chain or rope, it is inclined steel rod are strongly tightened to the hole. So how to lift the stone by the pin levies? So first of all, the stone which is lifted, so it is first vertically drilled, as you see in a figure number 2. So in the figure number 2, you see in the one pin levy is inserted in a stone. So first we mark the point, and then after vertically drill the stone and prepare a one hole, and then after this pin levies is forcefully inserted in a stone, and then after from the hook is fixed with a chain or rope, and this chain or rope is fixed with a crane. So these pin levies is generally used for the small size of the stone lifting. Next is a three leg levies. This type of the levies is made of assembly of the rectangular piece of the steel and two deviated steel piece of a U shape, and a round pin is used. A deviated hole is made in a stone. So see this figure. So the here this type of the levies is two rectangular piece, one rectangular piece and two dovetailed steel pieces used, and above one round pin is U-shaped tackle and round pin is used. So deviated hole is made first in a stone. The dovetailed steel piece are inserted in a hole, and then after rectangular steel pieces are driven between them. So here see this figure, two dovetailed piece of the steel is inserted, seen a red color in a figure and a blue color. After inserting the dovetailed steel piece, rectangular piece seen in a figure as a blue color inserted in a stone. The shake is secured three piece by means of the round pin, and when the stone is lifted, levies get tightly fitted in the stone, and from the hook is fixed with a this hook is fixed with crane. Now next type of the levies is a chain levies or a chain dog levies. In this type of the levies, the hook shape steel piece is known as a dog, and this dog is used for the lifting the stone. The hook and of the dog are inserted in a hole of 18 mm, and the dogs are connected to the hoisting chain or rope for lifting of the stone. In chain levy system, the dovetailed hole is made in the center of the top of the surface of the stone for the lifting purpose. So see this figure. The curve shaped steel legs are inserted in the hole and are connected by means of the three steel rings. So the topmost ring is attached to the hoisting chain or rope, and this rope or chain is fixed with crane. So when the chain or rope is stretched, so the levies is fixed in a stone, and depends on a weight of the stone. So if the weight of the stone is higher, so dog leg levies is tightly fixed in a stone. Next type of the levies is a modified from the three leg levies. A modified three leg levies consist of a central wedges piece and a frame. The wedges shaped piece can be freely side between the frame consist of a steel plate, and when the stone is lifted, the central wedge is pressed against the two sides of the frame. Figure show the levies used for the underwater. So here second figure show the levies used for the underwater construction. So it consists of a wedge shaped piece having the one side vertical and another side is inclined and straight key with separate thin chain. So the wedges is inserted first and then the key is placed next. So the wedges is in a inclined shape. So first we inserted and then after as a key rectangular shape is key is inserted as a next. Next type of the uh, instrument used to handle the stone or lift the stone as a lifting appliance is a kniper. So the pointed end of a kniper are inserted in a hole to made a little below the stone top face, and the stone block is raised by attaching the chain assembly. Now next is a joint in a stone masonry. So there are the different joint in a stone masonry. So one by one we discuss. First joint is a butt joint. So here butt joint is a simple joint, look like a brick masonry joint when we use the brick as a masonry work. So two brick are nearer to each other and by using the mortar we join the two bricks. Similarly in a stone masonry, dressed edge of the two stone are placed side by the side. So here two stone seen in a figure, two stone are nearer to each other and between the two stone we joined with a mortar like cement mortar or lime mortar. Second type of the joint is a lap joint or rebated joint. So here name indicate lap joint. So provide in arches or gables and use in a slope to prevent the movement of the stone. So in a lap joint both the stone joint are left with each other. So in a simple straight shape or in a diagonal shape. So two types of the lap joint is provided. So see in a figure number 1 and 2, figure number 1 show the diagonal shape lap joint and figure number 1 show the straight lap joint. Next is a table joint. So provide in a C wall to prevent the prevent the lateral movement of the stone, and height of the projection is 30 to 40 mm and width is 1 by 3 width of the stone. So here one of the key or projection is provided as a 30 to 40 mm in a height and 1 by 3 width of the stone. Next is a cramped joint. The metal clamp are used to prevent the tendency of the joint to pull apart. The dovetail shaped hole are made in both the stone to be joint, and after placing the clamp in a position the joint is grouted and covered with a cement or lead or asphalt. So here see this figure, clamp is compulsory required. So clamp is a one type of the clamp. So after clamping the two stone, rich mortar is fill up in a position. Next type of the joint is a plug joint. The plug joint is an alternative or cramp joint. It consists of a plug hole of a dovetailed shape in a plan and cut below the top surface of the stone, and the stone are jointed by filling the holes with a cement. And next is a dowel joint. This type of the joint is used to ensure the stability of the stone against sliding or displacement. Dowel made or a slate or a copper or brass. The dowel are set in a cement mortar. Next is a rusticated joint. So these type of the joint are generally used to plinth or a masonry in a lower story of the building and give a structural appearance or a structural massive appearance. So here different types of the joint is a V joint. So here see this figure, V joint. So upper and lower both the stone are cut at a 45 degree or less than the 45 degree, and from the appearance we see the V shape. So this type of the joint is a V joint. Next is a channeled joint. So here small rectangular or square shape cut is a seen, and third one is a molded joint, so is a designable joint, and fourth one is a V and channeled joint. So in a V and channel joint, so upper stone is cut in a V shape, means diagonally cut, and lower stone is cut in the form the design. So it's called a V and channel joint. Thank you.